Today we have ridden the Grinduro. We are fresh off of the hill, and today I'm going to talk you through the top 5 coolest bikes from Grinduro Wales 2021. We've seen a wide variety of stuff, all the way from hacky, single-speed, fixed-gear bikes well up my street to seriously saucy, expensive titanium shred sleds. As I mentioned, we are just fresh off the hill ourselves, and we have had a hoot of a day. So do not forget to watch that video. It's going to be a really, really good one. We've had a real adventure. I promise you'll enjoy it. Right now, we're going to take a walk through the pits, see the best of the bikes that are out there. Of course, before we get to that, do not forget to like, subscribe, and click that little bell icon so every time we upload a video like this, a wonderful video like this, you will get a notification. Bow! Kicking things off, we have Katherine, regular BikeRadar contributor, stalwart of the cycling industry, who's going to talk us through her Mercredi custom gravel bike. Katherine, when did you get this bike, and tell us about its lovely new paint job?
Yeah, I got this bike a couple of years ago. It was built by my best mate, Katherine, who's a fabulous Belgian cyclocross racer. Had a new paint job because it had a really unfortunate train incident where somebody scuffed it quite badly, but thankfully it was insured. Yeah.
So now you've got this lovely new paint job, and I believe it was inspired by something in Bristol.
Yeah, it was by a mural that I saw, and the colours were just gorgeous, and I sent this mural to my mate who painted the frame and just said, "Bit of that please," and let him work his magic. Yeah, and I'm really stoked with how it turned out.
I think we can all agree it looks very, very tasty. Now the build itself, we were just talking, you run Di2 on your gravel bike, which, you know, pretty luxurious choice, but one that you say you would stand by. Why do you love Di2 so much on a gravel bike?
Well, firstly, I was really spoilt because I had it on my first gravel bike, which was a Pinnacle Arcos limited edition. So they made it really fancy for their 15th anniversary, and it had little thumb shifter, like up and down climbing buttons. It just works all the time, and I love it, and it's completely waterproof and just worked really well. And the other thing that comes in really handy as a shorter rider is I don't have a huge amount of space for bags when I'm bike packing, but I can really make the most use out of my real estate on the front because you don't have to swing in the shifter so much to be able to shift. It's just a tiny little movement, which is really handy. At a premium price, of course, but yeah, it's well worth having for me.
So you rode this bike around the course today. How was it? And also, tell us about the tyres.
Yeah, it was mint actually. It was really nice to be back on this bike after a long time in the paint shop. There was some really sketchy techie stuff, which was actually amazing. And yeah, I'm reviewing these tyres as part of the BikeRadar gravel tyre group test.
So definitely check that one out on bikeradar.com very soon. And
if anybody knows the riding around Mercredi, they are still, as you'll be able to confirm, completely inflated.
Yeah. Quite high pressure, Katherine. You must be bouncing all about the place.
I did not want to flat today.
Wise move. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for talking to us about your beautiful Mercredi. So I'm here with Sam from Flying Fish Cycles, and I don't think it needs much introduction. This bike immediately caught our attention in the pits. So first and foremost, Sam, talk us through the design of this bike and why you've gone for this kind of bolt-on, integrated seat mast kind of situation.
I think these mounting points give us provision to put a bush in there and maybe bring in a bit of comfort when it's getting a bit rough. You know the soft ride bikes where they have the carbon beam and the saddle can slide along the carbon beam? That was a big influence as well because it means you can kind of make one frame, one steel frame for various sizes and accommodate different shapes and leg lengths and that kind of stuff. So this will allow us to maybe make a batch in one size and then make different seat master seat. Which for, you know, if you're a small batch frame builder, building a big batch of different sizes could be very expensive and very time consuming. So possibly quite a good way to speed things up, make it more efficient. Hopefully. We've also got a bolt-in yoke because we needed a yoke just to kind of get a bit of space down there. And so it's quite straightforward, it adds a lot of rigidity. It also means we can then change what happens down there if you've got a different tyre profile or if you want to add mud guards and all that kind of stuff. So you can, it's a bit of modularity really. And modularity is never a bad thing on a bike, and it looks really cool. Ah, yeah, well, yeah, and that always does.
Thank you so much, Sam. Really cool bike, and you know, really interested to hear the kind of decisions behind it, and hope to see more of them in the future. Very, very cool stuff.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
So now I'm here with Taylor from Stayer Cycles, who's going to talk us through, as I've just discovered, the prototype OMG. Before we go on though, briefly I should say we've actually already had a chance encounter today where I found part of your bike on the trail some hours before I went and bumped into you.
I didn't realise that was you because you don't have a helmet on now.
Well, it was me, so there you go.
My angel, actually.
There you go. So, this new prototype bike, talk us through how it was today.
It was almost too fun because I actually kind of came off of it quite a bit, and the trails were way more technical than I thought. Right now with its setup, which is a mullet setup, as you can see there's a 29er and a 650B.
Very trendy.
Oh my god, so trendy. 3-inch on the back and 2.8 on the front. And yeah, it's literally just for shredding trails and having fun, which is like what Grinduro is about, so it's quite good.
So did you rock out as hard as that band over there are today on the on the course? How was the bike today on the kind of pretty gnarly trails?
Oh man, I could like roll over anything. It's like a tractor. It's kind of unstoppable. It's got like set up with an electronic dropper post actually at the moment and electronic shifting. So it was just like butter with the fingers and then over the trails just like a tractor. It was crazy.
So Stayer's kind of like a semi-custom brand, isn't it? We're not talking like crazy levels of customization, but you can really adjust the fit on this.
Yes, so the OMG is probably our most customizable off-the-peg bike, and that's for many reasons, and you can have sort of like lots of different options with it, but a huge one is the curvature of the seat tube down here. So this one's got a big curve in it, but you don't need that, and you could have like a way slacker, sort of like even more MTB geometry if you wanted, so that's really, really exciting.
Thanks very much, Taylor.
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
You gonna go have a little
Yes,
dance?
I'm gonna party the night away.
Excellent stuff. So next up we have Liam Yates, who rode this very tasty Canyon Grizl CF SLX around the course today. First up, how's the bike? Did you have fun today?
Great day, yeah. Got around in one piece, had fun.
What more could you possibly ask for?
Time to relax now.
So I think one of the more notable things about your build is you've got some fairly deep wheels for a gravel bike. You know, what's the kind of rationale behind that choice?
Speed.
Speed.
Pure and simple. I think this model just comes with these wheels, but if it didn't, I would probably get them anyway. So, and then, I mean, most importantly, they look good as well, probably.
Well, I mean, looking good is as important as going good. Let's be realistic here.
Looking good makes you go good.
In terms of tyre choice, some pretty chunky stuff today. You got some pretty big rubber on there. How was that on the kind of gnarlier sections towards the end of the day?
Yeah, that was perfect. I mean, a lot of people were saying it's more of a mountain bike route today. This Grizl's got clearance up to 50 mil, so
you can fit something pretty chunky in there then.
That's going to be, you can get a bit sendy on those.
Now 1x, a trendy choice in the world of gravel, but we can see you have stuck steadfastly with a 2x setup. What's your preference on that?
Some people saying it was too mountain bikey. There was a lot of road sections as well, so having that extra gear size just means you can just chop along a bit easier when it does get smooth.
Get the head down.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you having extra front mech, so.
Don't tell anyone, but I'm on the same page as you. I'm a 2x man for life. Along with those big tyres, you have the VCLS leaf spring seat post. How do you rate that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, the seat post that comes on the Grizl here, yeah, super comfortable. After you've used it, I mean, you couldn't really imagine riding without it. It just adds that bit of comfort that you need, basically, especially when it gets rough. Yeah,
I think like when you're sat down on these gravelly days, it's a bit rougher, makes a big difference.
Yeah, especially when you're getting over, if you're doing more like sort of bike packing type rides.
Thank you very much for talking us through the bike. Very tasty build, very cool those tan wall tyres. We actually have a full review of the Canyon Grizl from Matthew Loveridge, who really rated that bike, giving it a very rarely awarded 5 stars. Do check out that review with a link in the video description. Finally, I'm here with Chris from CMG Bicycles, who won the single speed category today. Congratulations on that, first and foremost. Talk us through, first, why on earth are you riding single speed? I'm a man, I like a single speed bike, but today, pretty spicy on a single speed. And 2, about your lovely bike.
Yeah, so I started riding single speed a couple of years ago, basically because I built my first frame and I didn't have a lot of money to finish it off, and I thought I'm going to ride this through the winter and I can replace the whole drivetrain for 20 quid, so you know, let's give it a go. And I just kind of fell in love with it because it brings a whole extra dynamic to trails that would otherwise be pretty easy. Like.
And how was it on today's course? Definitely quite a dynamic course, one could say.
It was a bit of a grind up on the massive climbs today, but made it round. Only had to walk a couple of bits.
I think you more than made it around. You won, mate. Let's not be too humble here. So the bike itself, beautiful stainless steel thing. Talk us through.
So for a lot of UK riding, I really like having a sort of gravel geometry bike, but bigger tyre clearances. So this one fits 29 by 2.5 in the back, 29 by 3 in the front.
Basically a mountain bike.
almost a drop bar mountain bike really, but a better riding position basically. Pretty fancy cranks and an access dropper post on there too.
And we can confirm it's flash. Was it fun?
It was absolutely mega fun.
Excellent. Now, you know, we're quite used to seeing steel bikes, but stainless is a little bit less common, not least because it's really hard to work with. Why did you go with stainless?
I mean, the main reason I went for it was because Columbus is supporting the show. I'm going to get some fancy tubes.
I like
You
that.
don't see a lot of it because, like, if people are going to pay this much for a custom frame, usually they're going to go titanium, but it's just a nice niche. I really like it, and honestly, it rides amazingly.
Cool, very, very cool. So you have got sliding dropouts on there, kind of look modular. Would you ever be tempted to build this one up with gears, or are you single speed for life?
So I have got a spare hanger for this that does have a derailleur hanger, just in case.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be doing it, but you know, you never know. I like having the modular system there because you can do what you want when you feel like it.
Thank you for talking us through the bike, really, really cool. And I'm always delighted to see someone flying the single speed flag. We hope you enjoyed that in-depth dive into the weird and wonderful world of bikes at Grinduro. This whole event has totally been characterised by a broad mix of abilities, bikes, and just people that have come here, and it's made it all the better for it. It's been a really fun day, and thank you so much to everyone who agreed to speak to us. The details for all of those builders and brands are in the link in the video description. Now it's getting pretty late, and as I mentioned at the start of this video, we also rode the Grinduro today. Do check out that video. We had such a fun day out. It's going to be a great watch. Right now though, I'm ready to have a big drink of this beer, go and sit, chat with the cycling media illuminati that have gathered in North Wales today, and bid farewell to what has been a truly wonderful weekend. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so every time we upload a video like this, you'll get a notification.